Good morning, everybody, and welcome to What's Hot on the Open here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. Let's take a look at everything that's going on in the U.S. markets. And right now we have the markets in the green. You have the Dow Jones up 0.2%, up 41 points at 20,700. The battle begins to retrace and retake that 20-day moving average. It's been a tough battle right now in the Dow 30. And this morning there was some notable news. Ford, one of the components in the Dow, coming out saying that they're going to make some continued investments in their Canadian arm as far as building out some new technology up there and their infrastructure up there. So interesting activity by Ford, but we're going to watch those blue chips. They're going to have to catalyze the index over the 20-day moving average if we're going to get some movement. Also, on the data side, we did see that initial claims came in a little bit lower than expected, so that's a positive. And still, we see that claims are coming in at basically over the last 5 years historic lows. So we're going to keep an eye on that. What is notable is looking at the S&P 500. It took and has now stayed above. It settled and is now above the 20-day moving average. That's our psychological short-term barrier that has now become support. The S&Ps are trading up $3.70 at 2364.90. Now again, is that the biggest support level? Does this mean that the bulls are back in control? By no means. But what it does mean is that the action hasn't turned negative. There was uncertainty right here in this area between the 20 and 50 day. These are visual levels that now you can look at as you're making decisions about your portfolio. This helps manage some of the emotion. Taking a look at the NASDAQ, large cap tech has been on a tear, as well as biotech, semiconductors. They've all been moving to the upside, and you see that over the last 3 sessions, the NASDAQ has been the leader, continues to be the leader. Watch SMH, that's the semiconductor ETF. You can watch IBB, that's the biotech ETF. That has been the sectors that have been the catalyst to the upside for tech. And you could see it had challenged but held its 20-day moving average. So the short-term bulls in tech are still in control. This is the most notable move. The Russell 2000 coming off of its lows of last week, retaking its 20 and 50-day moving average. Now you have to see some volume and conviction on this latest move to the upside in these small cap, domestically centric stocks. With the in claims data coming out, that is a positive for the market. Seeing that their earnings cycle is starting to pick up, that is going to be a potential positive. And you're going to start to hear more about tax reform as well as trade policies that are going to start being put in place. That could be a potential catalyst for the Russell 2000 as well. We're going to keep an eye on all of that activity, but from a visual perspective, you can watch this 20 and 50-day moving average. You're going to want to see some momentum to the upside. Taking a look at volatility, though, that's our fear index, basically non-existent again. Down at 1130, down 20 cents today, or 1.3%. And right now, getting back to those lows that we saw back in February, January. So again, volatility pulled back very quickly, and that's how vol works. It expands and contracts very quickly and then gets in these grinding ranges. So we'll watch this very closely. Any pop in implied volatility, that's going to put you on notice that any move to the upside might be in jeopardy. Taking a look at the dollar has firmed up. It's trading over 100. We saw that with the currencies globally pulling back, most notably in the yen. We did see some weakness in the British pound as well as in the euro. We'll keep an eye on the dollar's strength. That is not inhibiting, though, strength in crude oil. Yesterday, the EIA came out. It was a much smaller build than expected, only about 900,000 barrels as far as the build in storage. That was below the consensus estimates, which were coming in at right around 1.4 to 1.6 million barrels expected as far as a build. Still a build. Rigs are still online, but with crude at 49.81 up 22 cents, that means that producers are going to continue to produce at the levels they are as long as the prices are staying up there. It's also something to be notable watch on as far as consumption. If we start to see draws in the near future from storage, The gasoline draws that we saw could be a precursor to a uptick in oil. I still think that while it's challenging its 20-day moving average at 49.77, its next level of resistance is going to come in at the $51 level. So that's about $1 and some change. That's the area where you're going to see the battleground for oil bulls come into play. All right, folks, that's it for What's Hot on the Open. Join me at 1:30 Eastern Time. I'm going to go over some really cool strategies, and I'm going to clarify some terms for those of you that have been watching, wondering what is all this vernacular, these terms that Joe uses. I'm going to go over some of those so that you have a little bit more clarity on what we're trying to accomplish here at MarketStream.live. All right, folks, we'll see you at 1:30 Eastern Time.